this wokeism that's being imposed, it's a top-down ideology. It doesn't come from the grassroots. It's the ruling elites that are imposing it, and it's people who are going to fight back.
That is exactly right. And this is the theme of this whole conference that is just restoring my personal hope, Steve, is that it's almost this amazing spontaneous order that begins where you have a 14-year-old that decides they're going to start a Turning Point group, and you have an 18-year-old college freshman that says, you know, I'm going to go run for student body president. You have 24-year-olds that are now inspired to go run for local office. This is what makes the American system so exceptional and so unique and so different, is that it's always been we the people. It's been bottom up. It is a citizen-led experiment. And the worst thing we can do, Steve, is to be cynical, to think that our own involvement doesn't make a difference. It's not going to move the dial. What we are doing right here is we are pushing back against this top-down cynicism, nihilism, and authoritarianism. This is a movement of hope and optimism. Our best days are truly ahead.
Oh, great message. And just a last quick question to you. I don't know if you have a straw poll or anything like that. There's a lot of love I could see for Governor DeSantis there at your event. What's your sense of the people in your movement? President Trump running again in 2024, or is the focus shifting to Ron DeSantis? How do you see that shaping up?
Look, I could tell you, we haven't done a straw poll, but I could just tell you on the unofficial, non-scientific, screaming at the top of your lungs poll that this group would be very supportive if President Trump runs again. We don't take any stances on candidates at Turning Point USA, but just based on the gear that they're wearing, the hats that they've chosen to come here with, and how loud that they scream for Don Jr., and also when I just said President Trump's name, I could tell you this audience would be supportive. But it's about the ideas, Steve. This is a conservative movement that wants to put our country first and put our generation first. It should give everyone hope.
Well, I think that's exactly right. And I really appreciate everything you're doing and for telling us about it tonight. Charlie, great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, coming up, the Gavin Newsom recall in California is less than 2 months away. A new candidate joined the race this week, and he's here live. Next.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because as a fiduciary, it's our responsibility to always put clients first.
So you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. We help clients enjoy a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
One that we don't take lightly. It's why our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. Fisher Investments is clearly different.
So tell me, what was life like before Leaf Filter?
To be honest, dangerous. I cringed every time we climbed up to clean the gutters.
Clogged gutters cause so much damage to my home.
What do you like most about Leaf Filter?
Everything. The installation, the lifetime transferable warranty.
Leaf Filter just works flawlessly at filtering out leaves and debris.
So I take it you'd recommend Leaf Filter?
Absolutely. All my neighbors already know.
Go to getleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate. Act now and save 15% off your purchase.
Introducing the all-new Nutrisystem.
Now with a breakthrough fat burner that will burn body fat and help you stay hydrated. For a limited time, get a 1-month supply free.
Lose up to 18 pounds in your first 2 months, guaranteed. You'll see results in your first week.
Act now and get your first month of the new Hydrating Fat Burner free with your Nutrisystem plan.
Your first 18 pounds, whew, gone.
Order your Nutrisystem plan and get the Fat Burner free.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual. Duncan, good news.
Missed any of Fox's Monday animation?
Would you write me a prescription for some sexual healing?
As we've discussed, I don't write prescriptions.
Fox has you covered.
It gives me a little ba-boom and a little ba-bang.
You can watch Housebroken.
Oh, it tickles, but in a good way. Honey, highly recommend.
And Duncanville anytime.
Thanks for coming. I love being famous.
Fox Animation Domination Continuation. All new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
Monday, the Biden DOJ's shocking seminar, inside new emails, and their outrageous explanation for inner-city violence. Find out and get reaction from Candace Owens on Tucker Carlson tonight.
Scholarships are still available. Get your offer now at gcu.edu/myoffer.
Get back to what you love. Because roller coasters. For more information on COVID-19 vaccines, go to youtube.com/vaccine info. Brought to you by YouTube and the Vaccine Confidence Project.
So there's nowhere in the country that has suffered more from the Democrats' march to the extreme far left than California. I should know, I live there. But there's hope. In just under 2 months' time, voters have a chance to kick out the cruel, incompetent Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom in a recall election. And look who joined the race just this week. National radio talk show host, you know him well, Larry Elder, who joins us now. All right, Larry, give us your pitch.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for having me. My father came to California in 1945, right after the war. He worked 2 full-time jobs as a janitor cleaning toilets. He was able to put his nickels and dimes together to buy a house. I just checked with Zillow. It is now worth $600,000. Great for me because it's still in our family, but an absolute disaster for anybody that tried to duplicate my father's route. 8th grade dropout, buying a house, having a stay-at-home wife, my mother, 3 boys. She stayed at home until the youngest of us was in middle school. That route is absolutely impossible for any young family today, and that is why, Steve, for the first time in our nation, in the state's history, young Californians are leaving. There's a magazine called CEO Magazine. It's been in existence for 17 years. And based on things like taxes and spending, unfunded pension liability, the power of the public sector unions, whether or not the business climate is friendly, California has been rated worst in which to do business, all 50 states, for the last 17 consecutive years. I went to a public high school called Crenshaw High School. If you saw the movie Boys in the Hood, that's my high school. Right now, only 2% of students at that high school are math proficient. Yet the teachers union despises choice. because they lose their automatic dues. And if you look at the percentage of school-age teachers with school-age kids at LAUSD, Los Angeles Unified School District, they are twice as likely to have their own school-age kids in public school compared to families that don't have public school teachers. And I haven't even talked about crime, rising homelessness. It is estimated that we have about 25% to maybe half of all the nation's homelessness right here in California. And the Democrats think you can just buy homes for them at substantially higher cost, by the way, than the private sector without dealing with the underlying problem. All you're doing is sending a signal to the other people living in other cold weather states, come on down to California, enjoy the warm weather, and we'll get you a house. It is outrageous. And don't get me started on the arrogant way this man, Gavin Newsom, slammed down this economy by imposing the strictest coronavirus mandates of all 50 states while violating them themselves at that French restaurant, while having his own kids enjoy in-person private education and exempting his own business from the very mandates he imposed on everybody else. And when he was at that restaurant, it wasn't just he was at that restaurant enjoying a meal that's probably around $30,000 at taxpayers' expense, Steve. He was there with the very lobbyists and the very medical professionals that drafted the mandates that they were violating. This arrogant, incompetent, elitist man has got to go, and I'm urging people to go to electelder.com, and throw something in the tip jar, because he can spend unlimited amounts of money. And when it was rumored that I might jump in, a union gave him $5 million that he can spend. I've got limitations. If people from California and outside California don't help me, I cannot win. That's why I'm urging people to go to electelder.com, electelder.com. This man has got to go.
There you are, electelder.com. So good, you said it 4 times. I agree, we've got to get change. And, you know, the thing, and you could add to that list, you know, like the incompetence over the wildfires and the way that they're mismanaging, you know, the business climate. There's so many things going wrong. We could talk about it all night, but I really, really wish you luck with the campaign, Larry. Just one last question. There's a story that somehow there's some technical thing that you're not going to be on the ballot. Can you just clear that up for us?
We dotted every T, signed, dotted every I, crossed every T, signed every piece of paper, turned everything in on time. If there's a problem, I will see you in court. I intend to be in this election. I'm going to be on the certified ballot, and by going to electelder.com.
Very good. Larry Elder, great to see you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Steve. Thank you for having me.
All right, and for all the latest on the recall election, check out my podcast, California Rebel Base. You can get it anywhere you get your podcasts or at our website, californiarebelbase.com. Coming up, wait till you see the latest example of Democrat hypocrisy. This time it's about money in politics. And all you Biden swamp with Sarah Carter up next.
Liberty Mutual customized car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. How much money can Liberty Mutual save you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2,807, $72,808.
Yep, everything hurts.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What happens when you make power your thing above everything? You decide fast is never fast enough. You put muscle over matter, and you make horsepower a superpower. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Muscle.
My name is Mason, and I love playing ball. I've been playing ball for about 65 years, and I've played 27 years in the Huntsman Senior Games, and it is a great opportunity to be able to continue to compete. But when I turned 80 years old, I was starting to lose it, and my legs felt like they were 100 pounds. And I was wondering what I could do to get it back. And I heard of Balance of Nature. So I've been taking Balance of Nature, and I do feel better. Taking Balance of Nature is helping me to get back to playing ball and taking care of my family and enjoying life. So I would recommend Balance of Nature to anybody, because I'm excited about it. I really am. Balance of Nature works. I'm going to take it till I graduate from this life and go on to the next.
Start your journey with the best fruit and vegetable product on the market by going to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FOXNEWS.
him out. He's yours now.
We got your car, sweetie.
A dealership? I thought this was an online thing.
It looks like you done picked the wrong website, Chief.
It's time to sign, baby.
So you didn't go to a dealership?
No, with Vroom you don't have to.
Never go to a dealership again. Go to Vroom.com, buy a car, and we'll deliver it straight to you.
This isn't just freight. These aren't just shipments. They're promises. Big promises, small promises, cuddly shaped promises. Each with a time and a place they've been promised to be. And the people of Old Dominion never turn away a promise, or overpromise, or make an empty promise. We keep them. A promise is everything to Old Dominion, because it means everything to you.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
The builds are bigger, the challenges are tougher, and the host is more prepared than...
More prepared than ever.
More prepared than ever.
All new Tuesdays, LEGO Masters is back.
Are you serious?
And more
spectacular
than ever.
Why are you copying our film? What? We're trying to make a reality television program here, guys.
LEGO Masters, all new Tuesdays, and watch anytime on these platforms.
Big money, dark money, it's all an evil, right-wing Koch brothers conspiracy, according to Democrats, except, of course, when they use it themselves. Like with the North Fund, a shadowy, progressive, non-profit political action group headed by someone called Jim Gerstein. The North Fund is one of the biggest funders of Democrat and left-wing groups and causes in the country. It's about as big and dark as political money comes. No website, no actual offices. It refuses to identify any of its donors. Yet another staggering example of Democrat hypocrisy. Rules for thee, but not for me. Sarah Carter is back with us. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Right. Like, they never stop going on about getting money out of politics, except when it's for them.
That's right. Well, absolutely. And what's really interesting about North Fund is that because it's listed as a social welfare nonprofit, they don't have to reveal their donors. But in 2019, they had only like $9.3 million, and then it jumped to over $50 million in 2020. They're also used as an umbrella to protect other progressive groups, and which is really interesting because if you look back in 2018, Steve, there was a group called 1630, and they used about $141 million to help progressive groups in the United States, of which 51 million plus was given by one donor alone. And that's the reason why they call this dark money. Is this all individual loans coming from individuals, or is it from significant big donors that are making changes in politics? And because knows who's giving the money, we can't gauge what's actually really happening. And that's why people are concerned, and that's why they're this dark money.
It's so hypocritical. And then the other aspect of this political money I find so offensive is the way the Democrats endlessly complain about the corporate money when it was all flowing to Republicans. Now that they're getting it, you know, from people like Google or whatever, it's totally fine. And of course, let's not mention the union money. I mean, that's totally, all the big unions giving them money, that's fine.
That's absolutely true. So you have big donors like Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Google. Now they don't want to return that money. Now they're perfectly happy with the so-called dark money. But what's interesting is the hypocrisy. So North Fund actually states that they're fighting dark money.
That's right.
They don't want it to exist while they are actually accepting dark money. So go figure.
Well, it's just because, like, they're so, this is what's so disgusting about they're so sanctimonious. They think that they can't do any wrong. It's all, you know, they're so virtuous. Everyone else is awful because they're on the side of history, whatever. You know, it's all just wrapped up in this kind of complete mess of hypocrisy and virtue signaling. It is unbearable, but it's always great to have you here to explain it. Thank you, Sarah. Great to see you.
You're welcome, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and do join us next Sunday when the next revolution will be televised.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Trey Gowdy, and welcome to Sunday Night in America. This past week, we've seen images from Haiti, Cuba, and Afghanistan. We've seen images people in other countries carrying our flag, the American flag, as they fight to secure their own fundamental freedoms. And then we see images from our own country of that same flag being burned or shunned. We hear countries calling for the United States to send our police, our investigators, our soldiers to help them, even as there are calls in this country by our own politicians to eliminate, defund, or denigrate those same institutions. We're asked to keep the peace in parts of the world some of us can't even find on a map, even as some American cities struggle to keep the peace on their very own streets. It's a compliment on the one hand, and when others look to our country as an ideal, as the keeper of the peace, as the model for freedom and liberation. But with those expectations comes the pressure to live up to those expectations, to be worthy of those expectations. America is one of those rare countries where you are free to even burn your own flag. You are free to turn your back on your own flag, even as you are vying to compete on the world stage under that very same flag. America is a country where you are not only free to call for the police and the military to be defunded, but you will actually be protected by both the police and the military while you call for them to be defunded. America is one of those rare experiments in freedom where you can criticize the very country which gave you the freedom to criticize it in the first place. Many of you have traveled abroad. I've been to Africa and Europe. I've been to the Middle East and South America and Central America. When you travel, you sometimes see things differently. You gain a new perspective. You experience the beauty of other countries and their cultures. You experience the almost universal kindness people give you. You have a sense of history. You have this dual sense of both how small you are and how interconnected the world is. But most of all, when you travel, you grow to appreciate America even more. There are people who risk their lives to come here. There are people who would give everything they have, everything they own to live in this country. There are people who would say goodbye to their own children or their own parents to live in America. We won the lottery by being here. When I was 20 years old, traveling through Kenya and Tanzania, it was readily apparent to me that I was no different, no more worthy no more entitled to get on a plane and come back here than any of the other 20-year-old faces I was passing. I was just lucky. I won the lottery of birth. Do we have challenges in our country? Of course we do. But I'd rather have our challenges than anyone else's. I'd rather have our flaws, our potential for betterment than anyone else's. When I see people in other countries carrying our flag as an inspiration for their own freedom, when I hear other countries asking for our help to stabilize their country or their military or their government, when I recall the images of people in makeshift rafts risking their lives to get here, or mothers trying to pass their children to Americans to give them a chance at a better life, even if it means never seeing those children again. It makes me grateful for the gift of being able to call this country home. So yes, if you're an American, you're free to turn your back on the flag. You're free to burn it. You're free to walk on it. You're free to disrespect it and then wear it on your uniform in a sporting event. You're free to call for the police to be defunded, even as the police protect you and your home and your place of business. You're free to call for the military to be defunded, even as the military serves and sacrifices and sometimes dies to defend your rights. You're free to do it. You're just wrong to do it. But if you persist and feel like that's really what you've been called to do, to constantly criticize this country, at least acknowledge how lucky you are to be here while you do it. And remember the images of those who would give everything they have to just be here. Joining me now is Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar of Florida. She sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and she is the daughter of Cuban exiles. Welcome to you, Congresswoman.
And thank you very much, and your words were words of wisdom, and I was also very lucky. I won that same lottery by being born here, thanks to my grandparents and to my parents that they made that ultimate sacrifice of coming to the United States in search for freedom. So bravo to your words. I agree fully, because like you said, you need to go abroad and see what happens outside and travel so you will have a point of reference and you will know what this American exceptionality is all about. And like you said, people that are risking their lives. I was a news reporter many years before I won my seat in Congress, and I interviewed family after family, people that had lost relatives eaten by the sharks in the Florida Straits because they were trying to make the trek from Havana to Miami.
Well, Congresswoman, one country I have not been to is Cuba, so I need you to tell us and our viewers, tell me what Cuba is like and has been like under the Castro rule.
Well, I can summarize that in telling you that the Castro and the Cuban revolution has been the most cruel and the most evil revolution that the Americas has seen ever since the arrival of Christopher Columbus. No one has been able to be crueler and take the repression to scientific levels. That is what the Castros, I'm sure they're going to write history, and the historians will look back and say these people not only were able to gain power but maintain it under the most cruel and severe repression. But the good news is that right now, after 62 years, those people who have lost everything, their families, their food, medicine, Cubans have nothing. They're starving, and now they lost their fear. And that's why we see them, that we have seen them for 7 days out into the streets. Thousands and thousands of Cubans facing torture, facing death, facing jail, anything. And now the United States needs to step up, and specifically President Biden needs to redress that historical betrayal that happened during Bay of Pigs. This is the moment when the Democratic administration, and I am a Republican Congresswoman, but it doesn't matter. The Democrats have the historical duty right now to redress what happened in Bay of Pigs and say, yes, Cubans, we are with you. How? Well, by just turning on the internet. And why internet right now is the most urgent step, because that way we'll embolden, will let the people of Cuba know that they're not alone. And that they can go out back into the street, more and more people, and demand freedom. And then we will be watching, the whole world will be watching how they're treated, how they're tortured, how they're being beaten on the streets. And that will change everything, because the Cubans lost the fear.
What is your reaction when some on the left, either sporting figures or politicians, say it was really America's policies, our embargo, that hurt the Cuban people? And not the Castro regime?
Trey, the problem is that, unfortunately, our American colleagues are they're ignorant about what really happens with this embargo. Let me just give you some empirical evidence. Cuba trades with 180 countries. Canada, Mexico, Europeans, the Arabs. Cuba trades with everyone. Number one. Number two, we send $3 billion with $1 billion from Miami and from the Cuban exile community to Cuba. $3 billion. They are flooded with cash because of us. Number three, we, the United States, will sell to Cuba. Probably we're the most important trade partners with Havana. All the chicken they eat and the different poultry. So what embargo? The embargo is the one imposed. The Castros are the ones who have imposed the embargo on the Cubans. Why? Because the fishermen cannot sell their fish. That has nothing to do with the American embargo. The farmers cannot sell their crops to the Cuban population. That has nothing to do with the embargo. You cannot open up a cafeteria, a beauty parlor, or a hardware store. That has nothing to do with the embargo. That has to do with the fact that the Castros are in the business of power, and they have been all along. And unfortunately, they have done such a great job in strangling that population. But now they're saying no more. And where are we? The United States. So that's why, as a congresswoman from the city of Miami, the heart of the Cuban exile community, and my senators, Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, Bob Menendez, Albio Sierras, Carlos Jimenez, all these are members of Congress. We're asking we're begging President Biden to receive us in the White House so we can help him and explain to him what's really happening. And now I am appealing to President Biden. You are a man of God. Last time I saw you, you told me that you were Irish Catholic. Well, the same God that you have is the same God that I have. And my people need your help. This is an audience of one, President Biden. And then the White House says that they're reviewing the policy. What is there to review? People are out on the street demanding libertad, and the White House is saying, well, we have to review. It's impossible what's happening, but I do believe, and I do believe in the God Almighty that will touch the heart of President Joe Biden, and we're going to see a change from the White House next week.
Congresswoman, if I understand you correctly, your simple request is that President Biden meet with you and Senator Rubio and Senator Scott and Senator Menendez and others so you can share with him one-on-one how he can help the Cuban people. That seems like a pretty small request.
That's one. And the second one is to turn on the internet. Either from Guantanamo Naval Base, we can put a tower, and or from the American Embassy, the United States embassy in Havana. Why? Because they have the capability. It's not that I want the Cubans to watch Netflix in perfect video quality. All I'm saying and the whole congressional delegation is asking, so the Cubans can upload the video and then we can continue showing to the world what the regime is doing to them. That's basically it now. You know why, Trey? Because the moment this happens, the Cubans will know that the Americans are watching. And when they know that the Americans are watching, then they will go out into the streets more and more and more. And when you have millions hundreds of thousands of Cubans on the streets, there's no regime that can support that or that can stand that. And then that will be chapter number 2 in history. We're still in chapter number 1 and we need to finish it well. And who can write it well? The President of the United States, President Biden.
Well, Congresswoman, thank you. Your passion for the Cuban people and for freedom is evident to everyone watching. So thank you for that. Good,
yes, sir.
Good luck to you getting
Thanks.
that meeting, and thank you for being with us tonight. Yes, ma'am.
And
still ahead, Texas Democrats got on a plane, left Austin, Texas, where they were supposed to be working, and came to Washington, D.C. They claim it was to protest the Republican voting bill pending in the Texas legislature. But what exactly are they protesting, and did their stunt work? Plus, Olympian Dominique Dawes will join us live with the Summer Olympic Games just days away.
Deposit and pay with easy tools from Chase. Simplicity feels good. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Only 6% of U.S. retail businesses have a Black owner. That needs to change. So I did something. I created a Black Business Accelerator at Amazon. And now we have a program that's dedicated to making tomorrow a better day for Black businesses. This is really good quality. I am Tiffany. And this is just the beginning.
Ouch! That's sensitive skin! Ow! You left a mark! Ditch those sticky bandages! New Skin Sensitive protects cuts like me. Pain-free, on and off.
Now, no more ow with new Skin Sensitive.
Introducing the all-new Nutrisystem.
Now with a breakthrough fat burner that will burn body fat and help you stay hydrated. For a limited time, get a 2-month supply free.
Lose up to 18 pounds in your first 2 months, guaranteed. You'll see results in your first week.
Act now and get your first month of the new Hydrating Fat Burner free with your Nutrisystem plan.
Your first 18 pounds.
Gone.
Order your Nutrisystem plan and get the Fat Burner free.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches, weakness, or discomfort? In your hands or feet?
Introducing Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 selling nerve care company.
As we age, natural changes to our nerves occur, which can lead to occasional discomfort.
Nervive contains B-complex vitamins that nourish nerves, build nerve insulation, and enhance nerve communication, and alpha-lipoic acid, which relieves occasional nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort.
Live your life with less nerve discomfort. With Nervive Nerve Relief.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we created our Smart Seller system to sell your home for top dollar and save you thousands in commissions.
I was amazed in the fact that my house sold in 1 day. Ideal Agents saved me in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000 in commission. The process was as easy as it gets. They are the #1 way to sell your house.
Our service is free, available nationwide, and there's zero obligation. Call us today or visit idealagent.com.
Hey, come on down to our Appliance Superstore. We have the best deals on refrigerators, microwaves, gas ranges, and grills. And if you're looking for
Duncan, good news.
Missed any of Fox's Monday animation?
Would you write me a prescription for some sexual healing?
As we've discussed, I don't write prescriptions.
Fox has you covered.
Gives me a little ba-boom and a little ba-bang.
You can watch Housebroken.
Oh, it tickles, but in a good way. Honey, highly recommend.
And Duncanville anytime.
Thanks for coming. I love being famous.
Fox Animation Domination Continuation. All new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
Monday, the Biden agenda. Off the rails? Sean sounds off on the latest. Plus, the surprising details of the California gubernatorial race. Kayleigh McEnany and Larry Elder react on Hannity.
Helping families with mesothelioma
offer now at gcu.edu/myoffer.
Get back to what you love. Because roller coasters. For more
and to start this gymnastics gym to make sure it's a positive culture where it lifts up the self-esteem of young kids, and it's also about developing the whole child. It's helping them learn about physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, relationships, and